What is going on, everybody? Joel Campos here, bringing you episode 52 of the Pixel Street podcast, where each and every week, me and John Hansen get together and talk about one of our favorite things. I totally botched this intro already from the start. Video games. As always, I'm here with John Hansen, as I just said, who has also announced that he is going to be revealing his own Star Wars game on April 13th. How are you doing, John?
Man, we have got to start thinking about these intros sooner. I have no idea where to go with that.
Well, I think that's part of the spark of it, is that you don't know what's coming. That's my favorite part, is hearing your response.
Man, I got nothing on that one.
So if you were making a Star Wars game, what would you call it? Subtitle: Star Wars what?
Star Wars Kill All the Younglings.
Okay, that got really dark. What kind of game are you thinking? Are you thinking like 8-bit, 16-bit?
Oh,
you thinking GTA style?
I'm thinking it's a 4K AAA release where you just play as Anakin in those 10 seconds that he kills all the younglings.
You know what? How is this not a GTA 5 mod already? As dark as it is, you think that this is a mod for GTA 5.
It's probably on 8chan somewhere.
That's at least on 16chan by now. But anyway, as always, you can get our podcast on most podcast platforms on Fridays, as well as on YouTube. You can now watch the show directly on our Facebook group by searching for Pixel Street Podcast on Facebook, which a lot of people have Facebook, but I've heard some of the younger people are off the Facebook now because they think old people are taking over, which is kind of the trend. Old people are taking over Facebook now, so now all the kids are on Snapchat. Before you know it, guess what? There's going to be something bigger and better.
Yeah, we need to get around to putting this on Twitter.
Yeah, I was thinking about that on my drive home. I think it's possible that I already made a Twitter, but I can't remember, so I'll have to do a deep dive.
All right.
Yeah, send us topics at our email, pixelstreetpodcast@gmail.com. Maybe we'll have a Twitter by the time this airs tomorrow morning, because maybe I will make one tonight. We'll see. Facebook, Pixel Street Podcast, and search for us on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Podcasts. This week, we're going to be talking some of the hottest news. The Pokemon Direct, that's top of the order right here. Skybound cuts off support for Overkill's Walking Dead. And our third main topic is probably going to be Respawn's Star Wars game. And that'll be the topic of the show. Let's get into some of the releases coming out in the next week. I'm looking at a list here. Okay, so previously we had said that Deltarune Chapter 1 was out on Switch for free. I think that just came out today.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, for some reason I thought I read that it came out. Ape Out is out on Switch today as well. Did we figure out how much that is? Did we say $15?
Yeah, it was $15. I think I remember you were saying you were interested in it.
Yeah, I'll have to watch some gameplay, but I was listening to the Kind of Funny Games Daily today, and they said that Greg Miller said it was pretty good, so
all right.
I'll have to look into it. Let's see. God, there's so many crazy games.
Yeah, if you got Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes, the first DLC for that is out today. I haven't played it, so I have no idea if it's good or not, but I know some people were really excited for it.
Yeah, I've never played it either. Going through this list, tomorrow, March 1st, what do we got? Anything big? I don't think so.
Dead or Alive 6.
Oh, that's tomorrow?
Yep.
How do you think that's going to review? Like a 60?
I would have to actually check on how the past ones have fared score-wise, because I've never played them. I just know about them, and really what they're known for is just girls and skimpy clothing and everything, But from what I've heard, this game is like actually kind of going away from that and just actually trying to make it a legit fighting game, I guess. So I think it might score a little better if it's any good, but I have no idea.
I don't see it scoring that well, because I thought if any fighting game was going to come out this year and score well, at least so far, Mortal Kombat's going to kill it. They always do. NetherRealm Studios is crazy, but I thought that Jump Force would have been the one to come out and get good review scores, but it did pretty bad. I think it sat at like a 57 or something like that.
Yeah, pretty mediocre.
But at any rate, Yeah, Dead or Alive. When's the last one that came out? It had to have been a while now, right?
In all honesty, I think it was like a volleyball spin-off or something like that.
Yeah. That's pretty much it for the next week, up until the 7th. And the next Friday, you got, Devil May Cry 5 and Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn. But yeah, so up until the next week, you really don't got much, unless you're into Dead or Alive.
And if you're a nostalgia guy, Toe Jam and Earl are coming back tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't understand what that is.
It's an old Sega Genesis game that...
Is it just a remaster of it, or just re-release?
I believe it's a sequel to it. And like yesterday, they announced that Macaulay Culkin, the kid from Home Alone, he's like one of the producers on it. So
what?
Yeah, that was random.
They announced it yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, part of me wants to believe that he had absolutely nothing to do with this game, and they're just like, all right, let's throw a name on it last minute, and we'll be like, oh, Macaulay Culkin's been helping us make this game.
Yeah.
That sounds like such a cop out. Like 2 days before it comes out.
You know what though? It is kind of perfect though, because Home Alone was such a 90s thing, and then Toe Jam and Earl was very 90s as well, so I think it kind of goes together.
Like I know what the game looks like I know the style of the two characters, so it is extremely like hip-hop era 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But that almost sounds like, you've been working on a game for... This is going to sound bad, because I love the game. This almost sounds like you've been working on the game for 10 years, and then, a year before the game comes out, you hire Terry Crews. It's kind of similar to that,
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, not much coming out this week. Toe Jam and Earl, maybe I'll look into it. It's probably not that expensive, if anything.
Nah, I doubt it is.
Yeah, John, let's get into some of the... Are there any new backwards compatible games? There are. I know for a fact there are.
Yeah, there were at least 2. There was something crap. I have to look this up.
Okay, I got the list here. So,
all right.
Since the last one, which I think we left off at Lost Planet, we've had Resident Evil Code Veronica X, which we might have brought up. But we also have Hydrophobia, which I've never heard of. And Marathon Durandal. I know I own it because it's like a precursor to Halo in a way.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's a very Doom style game. Like if you get a chance, look at some screenshots. But I can't remember.
Oh, yeah, that's very Doom.
Yeah. But hold on. Marathon.
Like old school Doom.
Oh, yeah, like OG Doom. But it's a little more updated than the OG Doom. It was made by Bungie. It was made by Bungie before they did Halo, so...
Okay.
That's why I picked it up, because I thought, oh, maybe I'll see like what some stuff was inspired by, and then I was like, being a dumb kid at the time, I was like, yo, this game's old. Old game is old. Get out of here. I don't want this.
Yeah.
But I feel like
looks like it's only $10, though.
Yeah, it's only $10, so...
So...
Might be worth looking into if you were into Doom and never heard of Marathon, which I highly doubt.
And would kind of like to see what Bungie was making before Halo and Destiny.
Yeah, so anyway, John, get us into some of the free games this month of March.
Well, just announced yesterday the free games on Games with Gold. Oh man, now I'm botching this. The Xbox One free games with Gold from March 1st to the 15th is Adventure Time, Pirates of the Enchiridion? Enchiridion? I have no idea.
I'd say Enchiridion.
Okay. And then from March 16th to April 15th, actually, there's a mess up on that. The first game is March 1st through the 31st. But Plants vs. Zombies 2, Garden Warfare 2 from March 16th to April 15th. On 360, well, I guess this is another original Xbox game, so you can play it on Xbox One, not on 360. Star Wars Republic Commando from March 1st to the 15th. I'm always a fan of them bringing back original Xbox games and games with gold.
I love it.
And then finally, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance from March 16th to the 31st. Never played any Metal Gears besides that like 20-minute one. So.
Oh, the precursor to MGS5.
Ground Zeroes, I think
Ground
it was.
But yeah, and also you can download Super Bomberman R as we discussed before. I guess that's over. My bad. Why is that on here?
Yep.
Get out of here.
Yep, that ended on the 28th.
Yep.
Okay. On PlayStation Plus, this is the first month that there's no more free PS3 or Vita games, although Joel did bring up that last month's games might be available for another week or so.
Yeah, you got a few days at least. So if you don't have them, I mean, just download them. If you have a Vita or PS3, you might as well.
Yeah. So they're not upping the PS4 games to make good on that or anything. At least it doesn't seem so far, because this first month, all that you get are The Witness and Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered.
I think that's awesome. Remastered, I never played it because I wasn't interested in that Call of Duty that it came with. I can't remember. Was it Advanced Warfare?
Infinite Warfare.
Infinite Warfare, yeah. I had no interest in that, but I always wanted Modern Warfare Remastered, so now I get it for free. And I remember for like the longest time, for a year, everybody's like, just sell it on its own, but they never did. I think they did eventually.
They did, like a year later.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I just... People probably stopped caring at that point.
Yeah, it was way too late. No one cared to buy it on its own.
If they did it, it makes sense why they didn't do it, because then nobody would have bought that new Call of Duty to try it.
Yeah. But in the end, some people only bought that to get Modern Warfare Remastered, and there were other people like you and me that didn't.
Yeah, because we didn't... It wasn't worth the money to me.
No.
Anyway, Twitch Prime... So as of the time of recording this, we're recording it the night of the 28th. They have not announced the March games, I don't believe. I looked online, didn't see them. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I'm sure we'll talk about those next week. Let's get into what we've been playing, John. I have been playing a fuck ton of Apex. And I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad about it.
I saw you were streaming it on our
I was. I actually
Facebook page,
I found
facebook.com/Pixel Street Podcast.
Is that the actual Facebook link?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Anyway, I found a cool service that lets me stream to multiple platforms at once. So all I do is I stream directly to Mixer, and then it restreams it to... right now I have it restreaming to Twitch and Facebook. But I could also add YouTube in there, but I don't know. Cause it's kind of a lot of work, because every time I want to do it, I have to, open Facebook in a separate tab, and then I have to set up the stream info in there separately. Mm-hmm. And then I have to copy the stream key over to the caster, whereas with Twitch and Mixer, the stream key is always the same. Mm-hmm. Because on Facebook, it saves your VOD, as a separate video. But, I'm sure I'll keep doing it coming up. But, yeah, Apex, I'm loving it, man. I really do. I think this is filling that void, because I fell in love with Overwatch for a few months, and I just fell out of it because my friends did. But this is really filling that void for me, in my opinion, because I love the battle royale genre as a whole, but I get bored of battle royales. But I think this is a great hybrid of two different genres of game, like your hero shooters and your battle royale games. And I actually saw that this has inspired Fortnite now, because I think they now have a ping system as of this morning.
Really?
With the season 8 up to, I think it's season 8 or 9, I can't remember. I saw a article, I just saw the headline, so unless that was some lying clickbait stuff, I don't know.
It's very interesting if that's true.
Yeah, especially how fast they could just do something like that.
Yeah. Epic is a very big company.
They have all the money in the world at this point. But yeah, Apex is awesome. They actually leaked a new hero, or legend, I guess. I don't know if you saw this. I'm going to bring it up.
I did not. How many games would you say you've won, and how long have you been playing?
How many games have I won? Probably not as many. I put the link there if you want to click on it. Okay. Oh, fuck. I don't even know if this is the link. Oh, yeah, it is. Sorry, I just burped really bad. I couldn't control it. I probably have 10 wins, not many, if that. But how many games do you think I've played? Probably 200, I'd guess. And that includes the games where you drop in in a hotspot and just get destroyed. So a new character leaked today. I'm just gonna go through this article. Everything we know about leaked Apex Legends character Octane. So it's rumored right now that when they come out with new characters, I don't know if they're going to do one at a time, but right now it's rumored that they're going to come out with 3 at once. But I think that they should do one at a time the same way Overwatch does, because as you said last week, like it just makes it easier for them to balance everything and kind of figure it out as they go. Whereas if they drop 3 players at once, it could break stuff as they go, and yeah, I don't know. So yeah, this article comes from Dexerto, which I've never heard of. Joe O'Brien writes, while Respawn Entertainment have yet to announce anything regarding the new Legends coming to the game, several leaks have offered a hint at the potential new releases. Most prominent among them is Octane, whose name first appeared in a data mined leak, but about whom further details now appear to have surfaced. While nothing is yet confirmed, and such leaks may be taken with a grain of salt, here's everything we know so far about the potential new legend. So pretty much there's a screenshot showing Octane, like with his skin. It looks pretty real to me, but who knows? There have been crazier fake leaks in the past. And then there's also a screenshot showing what his moves are, which his moves are pretty great. He has a passive move, which is, while not taking damage, Octane restores health over time, which is insane to think that that's a passive move, but okay. His tactical move, which is LB, is called Adrenaline Junkie. Move 30% faster for, I can't tell if it says 6 or 8 on my screen, 6 seconds. It costs 10% health and is immune to slows while active, which that could be really effective. I don't know how much you've played, but there's a lot of situations when you just got to get out of the way of an enemy, so you could pop that to risk your health to get away quicker. And it's immune to slows, which means if somebody on your team drops their missiles, like their airstrike, that'll slow you down, but it won't hurt you. But if you pop this, then you can just run through it like it's nothing. And then his ultimate is Launchpad, which is a deployable jump pad that catapults users through the air. So yeah, this is pretty exciting. I think that this would be a really cool character if it's actually true. But then again, it is just a rumored leak, so who knows if it is actually real or not. But yeah, I've been playing the hell out of Apex, and I'm loving it.
That's cool. In the last week, I've played a little more of Apex. Not a ton, only a couple nights, but I've got a group of friends that I play games with, and we won a few games, and I wouldn't say any game I actually dominated or anything, but I felt I did decent, and I enjoy Apex. It's just Battle Royale in general isn't naturally my thing. Apex and Blackout are the only ones I've actually gotten into and enjoyed, so they're fine. I love the gameplay in them, but just not anything that I don't see a Battle Royale game ever being the game that I only want to play.
No, yeah. I'm still there too, because I had my friends last night asking me if I wanted to play Apex, and I was like, no, I'm gonna play an hour or two of Anthem, just because I want to get through the story, and then start for that gear grind. But I'll talk about that in a bit. What else have you been playing?
I've been playing a lot of Paladins. I mentioned this last week. It's got cross-play and cross-progression now, so you can have all your progress on you between your Xbox, your Switch, your PC, your PS4. Really awesome stuff. A lot of fun. I just love being able to play it on my Xbox and be like, okay, I'm getting tired. Let me just go lay in bed, grab my Switch, play some more games until I'm really done playing, and it's just really awesome. I love the future that we're in right now. I really hope that kind of cross progression. There we go. I hope that starts coming to more games, because that's just so cool. If you have the same game on multiple systems, to just not be losing your progression on other systems, which would really help me, say for Overwatch, because I have it on PS4 and PC, but I don't play it nearly as much there.
Yeah.
So I have a very low level, and I'm just okay, I have no real need to level up and get to comp games on there, because I can already get the comp on my Xbox. So I just hope that cross progression. I know cross play has been a really big thing the last year or two, and it's starting to make its rollout. I just hope cross progression comes with that as well.
Yeah, I really hope that by the beginning of the next generation of consoles, that cross progression really becomes the standard for most of the larger companies. Because like we have like the Division 2 coming out this week, or not this week, this month. And I think it'd be awesome if that had cross progression with PC, because I know friends that are going to be playing it on PC, but I'm an Xbox guy, so I'm going to be there playing it with some of my other friends. I think majority of my friends are playing on Xbox, but like it would definitely boost their sales if they had cross progression with other systems, even if people were waiting until a sale came to buy the second copy they wanted.
There's just no real motivation to do double the work to get to the same spot on two different platforms.
Yeah, at least this way it would open that door to let people, give them the opportunity to do that. And I think that people would be more inclined to do so. And I was thinking the other day when I was driving, it was either to work or from work, about this same thing, about cross progression and cross play in general, and about how awesome Epic is for wait, was it Epic? Yeah, when they in Fortnite, this is before any of this even was thought of, they just like flipped a switch, for PS4 and Xbox to play together. Do you remember this? And then like somebody from Xbox killed a PS4 guy, or vice versa, one or the other. And when they killed him, they're like, wait a second, you can't have that gamer tag on Xbox because of this, and this reason. And so they also had a PS4, and they added them on PS4, and they were playing Fortnite, and they talked about it, and then there was an article written, and then they stopped it, and Epic's like, oh yeah, sorry, we weren't supposed to do that. So I think them doing that is what really changed the motive for everybody, because they were the biggest game at the time, and Sony had no choice but to, open the floodgates at that point, because like everybody was mad at them, essentially. Because Sony was always driving the narrative of like, oh, it could never work. Like, it can never work because our infrastructure's not there. And then even since then, I forget what other game it is, but recently they came out and said like, no, it is as easy as us flipping a switch, but Sony is not letting it happen. Oh, was it Warframe?
Yep.
Yeah,
because Fortnite was the first one to get Sony's go ahead to do the beta for the crossplay and stuff, and then Rocket League just recently got an update to allow cross party and crossplay and all that.
Not cross progression though.
Not cross progression, no. But Sean Layden had an interview where he was talking about, oh yeah, we are totally open to everyone getting crossplay and cross progression and all that stuff. Just contact your Sony manager that heads up your team. And like Warframe right away came out and they're like, no, we've contacted our manager multiple times. They said it's not going to happen, and we've even gone above them, and we have not been replied to yet. So
yeah, you see, it's
that's
just
Sony
like
for you.
Sony's being so shady about it. It's like, oh, your game's not popular enough. Sorry, like that shouldn't be the standard.
No,
because who knows, that could make a not popular game popular. And I'm not saying Warframe isn't like successful, because I'm sure they've made boatloads of money, because like they're at the Game Awards every year like showing stuff.
No, Warframe's got a very diligent community, but it's not even got to deal with their popularity, because look at Minecraft is still played more than any other game in the world right now, more than Fortnite, more than, I'm not sure about Apex because I haven't seen the numbers lately, but Minecraft is still one of the biggest games played right now, and Sony's still not allowing crossplay on there with the Switch, PC, mobile, or Xbox.
Hey man, off topic though, I'll tell you, Microsoft really killed it in buying Minecraft. Because because that's a game that they don't even need to remake. It can just be the same game that they add minor stuff to every once in a while for
that's
generations.
What they do.
No, I'm saying like for like future generations of consoles.
Yeah, everyone when they first saw it, that they spent like $2 billion to buy it, and they're like, oh, that's a lot of money for that. First of all, it's Microsoft. They have all the money in the world. And second off, I bet anything that they've already made their money back on it.
No doubt. Yeah, especially because like once Microsoft took over, what did you start seeing? You started seeing plushy toys, like essentially Legos in stores. Like they just had the infrastructure to take that whole franchise to the next level. And so like they could easily just, when the PS5 comes out, the PS6, just be like, oh, here's Minecraft PS5, same game, but you got to give us $30 if you want to play it on your PS5. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But yeah, kind of off topic, but cross-play, cross-progression, I think it needs to become the standard. I mean, cross-play isn't as big of a deal to me. Like, I'm fine keeping it separate, but I think when you have a game that's like MMO-ish, like where you're going through like for Anthem, you're going through, hours of loot grind, Destiny, hours of loot grind. If there was cross-progression for those games, it'd be awesome, because then I'd be able to buy the game again on my PC and play with my PC friends, instead of having to buy the game on PC and be like, hey, I know you've already done all this stuff dozens of times, but you want to help me do it? Like, nobody's going to want to help me.
No. Who wants to go through the same content for nothing new?
Yeah, exactly. Moving on, the other game I've been playing is Anthem. Talked about it vaguely. I think I'm like 75% through the story. Not very long story. Story so far is intriguing. It's not anything to write home about. Like, I think it's a good story overall so far, at least. I have no idea how it ends. I haven't been spoiled or anything. But yeah, in terms of the character interactions in that game, BioWare, like, it feels just like a BioWare game. Like, you walk up and talk to people. There are conversations where you make choices, and granted, it's not as in-depth as Mass Effect at all, but you make choices, and that can affect what they say next or whatever. But it doesn't really affect like game outcome at all. Like, you can't bang people, you can't romance them, none of that, which is kind of lame. And it kind of feels like they wanted to do that with this game, but for whatever reason took it out. Maybe it didn't work with the whole multiplayer aspect of it, co-op feel, but I'm liking it so far. I'm excited to see what the end game stuff is, as well as they're coming out with, I don't know what it's called, but they're coming out with essentially a raid type thing for the game, and I don't know when that's coming out. I'm assuming sometime in March, because they want people to have time to gear up and stuff before that.
Mm-hmm. That's really disappointing that I can't have a sexual relationship with my javelin.
Yeah, I mean, oh my god. Have you seen what it looks like when you climb into one of them?
Yeah.
It hurt. It's so disturbing to me. Like, the sounds it makes in my headset, it just looks like it smells so gross.
Oh yeah, just think of all the sweat building up in there.
It's just so gross.
And then you have all that that cloth and everything.
Yeah, it's got to be
I'm
disgusting.
sure it's great.
But yeah, Anthem, I'm sure that this will be like a podcast review in progress as the weeks go on. But for now, I'm enjoying it. I'm sure give it a few weeks and I might hate it. Who knows? Same way with Destiny was. Loved it for a long time and then hated it.
Ever since, the more and more I saw of Anthem, the more and more it just pushed me away. It's just not my kind of game. I'm not really in the looter shooters. I played the demo and I just realized it wasn't for me. So, not something I'm buying now, at least. I don't really have any interest in getting it, but I've heard it's very bare bones, kind of like Destiny 1 was when it first released. Like,
yeah.
You finish it and it's just, okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, when Destiny 2 came out, I was all for playing it. Like, I beat the story, I think, in a day. Day it came out, I played a bunch, and then the following day, so like a day and a half, maybe. I beat the story, and then I started that loot grind, and I just kept playing every single day. It's all I wanted to do. And with this, I'm just not feeling that, even though it's, like, a similar type game. With this, I'm like, yeah, I'll play Anthem, like, if I have friends on playing. But also, I'll hop over on Apex, because I've been playing probably more Apex than Anthem since it came out. So yeah, I'm just kind of all over the place right now. I'm not really stuck on one single game, but those are the two main games I'm rotating on.
Gotcha. All right. Well, my next game is I've been playing more Celeste. I had beaten the story a while ago, and I made a late review video on my YouTube, which you can find at youtube.com/JohnJW92, or just search Revok Shadows and you should find it. spoiler alert, that game is amazing. It's probably one of my favorite platformer games of all time. And it is very difficult.
Very difficult.
I know Joel's talked about he just had issues and couldn't get past certain points in it.
Oh no, I beat it.
And he's a scrub.
I know, I beat it.
He's crying to himself.
I beat it. I'm screaming into my mic that I beat the fucking game.
Poor guy. I know. Really missing out on such an amazing experience and giving up like a baby.
Is this thing on? Is this thing on?
No, it's a great game.
Yeah, I loved it.
It's so good. How did you ever go through and try any of the B-sides or anything?
No, I beat it, and that was a challenge enough for me. I think that was a great way for me to stop.
Gotcha.
If I would have tried, I probably would have broke a controller or two.
Yeah. So I went through and grabbed all the strawberries, which are the collectibles in the game. They're not too hard to find, and they're not really too difficult to collect. There's just a lot of them. There's 175 spread through all 8 chapters, and then there are also secret areas in the game where you can collect a cassette tape that unlocks a B-side of the level, which is pretty much this hard game on a hard mode. So it was very difficult getting through it, but I finally did beat all of the game's B-sides and everything. I did not use assist mode at all throughout the game. I was just playing it a ton, and towards the end of my B-side runs, I'm like, okay, this is starting to get to me. I'm getting mentally fatigued from this because it is tough. So I finally finished Chapter 8's B-side. I'm like, yes, I did it. I 100%ed Celeste. I feel so good about myself. And I take a look at my my screen. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, everything's checked off there. I have all of my collectibles. I have all the crystal hearts. I have all the B-sides done. Everything's good. And then something pops up. Hey, are you ready for a real challenge? C-sides are unlocked now. And let me tell you, that was the most crushed my soul has ever been.
So do you have all the achievements in the game, or are there achievements for C-sides as well?
There's an achievement for completing all of the C-sides.
Oh my god, just one? Just one achievement?
It's just one, and you have to complete all 8 of them.
That sucks, because you're going to do it. I know you are, eventually.
I am. I don't want to do it with assist mode, because I've gotten this far without assist mode. And the assist mode in Celeste is you can put on invulnerability, you can slow the game speed down to half, you can give yourself unlimited dashes, all that kind of stuff. You could just... and they say it, they put up a note when you go to turn it on. They're like, hey, this game wasn't directly made to be like this, but we understand some gamers are different, so if you want an easy mode, here it is.
And maybe I'll do that just to get all the achievements.
Yeah, because you can get all the achievements with that on. I've gotten this far without it, so I want to try it, but we'll see. Also here, I need to pull up my tweet because I took a picture. So when I took that picture of all the stuff that I grabbed and everything, I'd been 17 and a half hours in. I had died 3,651 times. So that game can be pretty rough on you. Oh, hey, the official Twitter for Celeste actually liked that tweet.
Nice.
But yeah,
they know your struggles.
They do. It's a great game. It was free on Xbox last month. If you grabbed it and you haven't given it a try yet, I definitely recommend it. If you don't have it yet, I definitely recommend buying it. It's probably about a $15 or $20 game.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm looking at your Twitter account right now. I see you retweeted Damon Hatfield. He tweeted a image that said, "Pretty interesting how this all shook out." And I looking at this picture really puts everything into perspective. Of all those major games, of all those major games that came out, the past few weeks, Metro Exodus was the highest scoring at 84. And I think everybody probably projected Anthem to be the highest, and they're in the middle. So it goes Metro Exodus at 84, below that Far Cry New Dawn at 72, below that Anthem at 64. Then you have Crackdown 3 at 60, and then Jump Force at 58. I think those are
Yeah.
Metacritic scores, but yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah, the biggest surprise there, I think, is the Jump Force being the lowest out of them, because I mean, when that was revealed at E3 last year, there
awesome.
was quite a bit of hype around it. Yeah, it looked awesome.
Like, to me, I'm not an anime fan at all, but I was like, man, that looks really cool for people who are into anime.
Yeah, and like I would have given it more of a try, and this is probably really dumb, but the whole reason why I went away from the game is because I downloaded the beta and saw that there was no English voice acting at all. And I'm like, nope,
God.
I don't want it.
Yeah, that would crush me. But to super anime nerds, they eat it up, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just really surprised because I don't know if we've talked about Crackdown 3 at all. I've reviewed it I did a freelance contract and reviewed it for a website, and it's just it's a game. It feels just like Crackdown 1. So I'm like, it feels like a game that we played 12 years ago now. I'm just really surprised that Jump Force is under that.
Yeah, for real. Moving on. Anything else you want to say about Celeste?
It's amazing. Play it.
Yeah, definitely play it. Definitely try it out. I'm sure it'll be free on some other platform soon. Probably PlayStation or Twitch Prime. Or maybe the Epic Game Store. Who knows? So the next game I want to talk about that I've been playing, well, I played through, is Florence. Do you know what that is?
I feel like I've heard of it. So I haven't played it.
It's a mobile game. You could play through the whole thing in about a half hour to 45 minutes, I'd say. It's just essentially like it just tells a story, and you do like very minimal things. It's a great phone game. Definitely play it with headphones on because the music is amazing. It just pretty much tells the story of a girl and her like finding love essentially, and then like all the good and bad things that come with all that. It was just such a great game. It was a good story overall. Made me tear up a bit. It was kind of sad at points, really happy at points. And I listened to the whole soundtrack at work one day, and it was, even just the music alone, like what's happening in the game, especially after you play it. But yeah, it's a great game. It's pretty much just like a slideshow where you do minimal things on each slide. So yeah, I think it's like $2 or something like that, $3 on the App Store. So check it out if you get a chance, or you want to try a pretty cool little mobile game. I actually contemplated buying the vinyl online for it because I thought that the soundtrack was that good. I wonder if it's still available. But yeah, Florence, check it out. Maybe watch a video of it or something. I don't know.
All right. My last game is, like I said, I made a late review for Celeste. I am now starting on Undertale. We talked about this going on sale and buying it when the last Nintendo Direct showed up. And so I've been playing it. I haven't played too much of it. I'd say I'm about an hour and a half in or so. Early impressions is it's fine. I don't think I'm as sold on it as some people are. I'll have to get into it more. I really like the writing of the game. Like, it's really cool, like the things people say. And like I've seen videos of people already having different conversations with characters than I am. So I really think that's interesting. The whole combat mechanic of like if you're doing a genocide run or a pacifist run. So I'm starting with a pacifist run, but I just don't really care about it yet. Like every single enemy that I come up against, I'm like, okay, this is just wasting time for me. I just want to be done with this. So that hasn't grasped me yet. I mean, it is kind of cool that you can like figure out different ways to get past enemies without harming them, but it's just not. I'm just not super sold on it yet. But like I said, very early in the game. I'm only just meeting Sans and Papyrus, which are two big characters in the game, I believe. And I'm just going through their puzzles at the moment. So
okay, yeah, a lot of people really love that game, and I don't quite understand why, but I haven't played it for myself. But I do want to try it out. I think it's still on sale, isn't it? On Switch?
Yes, it is. Also on sale on PS4 now.
Oh, cool. I'll probably just get it Switch personally, but It's easier that way.
It's what I did.
Oh, the last thing I want to talk about real quick. Do you see my Amazon link? Did you click on that?
I did.
I ordered that and it just came in the mail, and I'm very excited.
Okay. Maybe you should say what it is.
It's a book called The Game Console, a photographic history from Atari to Xbox. And it's like 200 and something pages long. And it goes through like each console through those eras. And it shows you like broken down versions of like parts of it and stuff, and talks about the history of them. I just think it's really cool. And it was on sale for $16 on Amazon. And I'm very excited to read through it.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, and
how
like
it like takes it apart and everything.
Yeah, it like shows it like step by step, like how it's assembled essentially, the parts. But yeah, I saw this at a Target over the winter. I want to say back in November, and it was like $40, and I was like, I can't buy this. Like a $40 book that I'll probably look through once, but at $16, I'm like, all right, that's cool enough to like add to my nerd collection.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'll talk about it more next week. I just wanted to bring it up.
All right, you got me looking at the Super Mario Brothers Encyclopedia.
All right,
and then there's the Legend of Zelda Encyclopedia.
Back on track, John. Let's talk about another Nintendo property, Pokemon.
Yeah, so yesterday morning, very early morning, 8 o'clock in the morning for us, so I think it was like midnight if you're in Australia. So a lot of people were upset with the timing of this, but Pokemon had their direct officially revealing the Generation 8 Pokemon that's coming out on Switch later this year. The two games are called Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. Who in their right mind would ever buy Shield with a name like Sword?
Nobody.
But whatever. I digest. So there wasn't too much shown off for the game. They really went into showing the region, the Galar region, which, if you look at from the map, is very vertical from what I saw. Very north vertical. And south.
Yeah, whereas I feel like most Pokemon maps are pretty much a giant square, right?
Yeah, they feel more expansive. This one, like, I could really see this game just starting out at the southernmost point, and as you work your way up, you're progressing through the game. So very interesting that they're going with that. Of course, we haven't seen too much more on it. They just showed the overall map, and then also the character like running through the worlds, and it's very diverse. There was like these mines, the open grass fields. There was like a mountain region. Very different looking stuff for a Pokemon game traditionally, like in one thing, because usually, correct me if I'm wrong, but Pokemon games, for the most part, it's all the same area, essentially. You might have your, like, going across a river or something, but mostly you're just going through, like, cities and everything that kind of look the same.
Yeah, this one looks like there's a lot of different kind of cultures brought together.
Yeah.
Which is oh, sorry. You can go ahead.
I was just going to say, from what I've seen, from what I've heard, people are saying it's very based off of London.
Yeah, so there's also some Scandinavian stuff in there people were pointing out.
Yeah, so...
Which is what's interesting.
Yeah. But other than that, there wasn't too much shown off. I was disappointed to see that random encounters are back. They're not having the Pokemon show up in the world again. Like they did in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
Yeah, that's pretty disappointing. I agree with that. But, I mean...
Yeah.
I could.
At the end of the day,
understand.
that's not a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, it's like it's expected. So, but like I could see them making another Let's Go for like Gen 2 Pokemon. But we'll get into that. Maybe that'll be a topic next week or something.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But yeah, they introduced the 3 starter Pokemon. You have the Grass type named Grookey, who looks like a little green monkey. He's a mischievous chimp Pokemon that is full of boundless curiosity. You have Scorbunny, who's Fire type. A rabbit Pokemon that is always running about, bursting with energy. And you have Sobble, the water-type Pokemon, who is a somewhat timid water lizard Pokemon that shoots out attacks as it hides itself in water.
Yeah.
Pretty lame, if you ask me. All around, pretty lame.
I didn't mind. I think they're pretty on par for Pokemon starters.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, to be honest, what I pick my starting Pokemon out of, what determines who I pick is how they look when they finally evolve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so who are you picking from this group, and why is it Scorbunny?
It is Scorbunny, 100%, because he essentially looks like his glasses broke, and he's got tape, but he doesn't have glasses. He just has the tape, so I like to think that he's cut up a bit and is just wearing an R. Kelly Band-Aid on the bridge of his nose.
Yeah. Scorbunny is awesome. I love him. I know there's some people that are very in on Grookey.
I know Sobble. I think Sobble's the main hit.
Oh, is it? Okay. I'm all in on Scorbunny.
If not the main hit, Sobble is definitely the meme out of all of them.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I keep seeing memes of him everywhere.
Same. Scorbunny looks awesome, though. Probably the thing that has me most disappointed now after seeing the starters revealed is that they're not having you follow. They're not following you in the world.
Yeah.
Like in Let's Go. Because in the little like CG thing that they showed with the starters, as Scorbunny was running, wherever his footprint was, there was like a trail of fire there. And like that would be so awesome to have in the world. Like just
that would
having it follow you behind you and just a little trail of fire. That would be awesome. Regardless though, I think they look fine. We haven't seen what they evolve in, what monstrosities they evolve into, so that will be interesting.
Yeah. You know that there's going to be one of these three that's like, nope, nobody's going to pick it.
Yeah, Grookey I could see just becoming like an ape or something, like a big gorilla.
Like the fucking ape out Harambe?
Yeah, something like that. Sobble, I don't know, he kind of looks like a...
Greninja?
What's that?
Greninja?
Yeah, he kind of looks like a tadpole kind of thing, so I could see him becoming like another frog thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Scorbunny being the one that I'm gonna choose, I have no idea what he's gonna look like.
Yeah, for real. I don't think they've done a rabbit or anything before.
Yeah, I can't think of any.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. But yeah, Pokemon coming out later this year. You have Sword and Shield. If you buy Shield, you're dead to me, but also give me your Switch friend code so we can trade all the exclusive Pokemon. Moving on.
Yeah, you're cool, but I hate you.
Moving on, we have an article from Game Informer. Joe Juba writes, Skybound cuts off support for Overkill's The Walking Dead. After a prolonged development and low review scores upon release, it's safe to say that Overkill's The Walking Dead was a disappointment to fans. But fans weren't the only ones disappointed. Skybound Entertainment was co-founded by The Walking Dead creator Robert Kirkman, and the company holds the Walking Dead license. Today, Skybound released a statement saying that it has terminated its contract with publisher Starbreeze Studios, and it will discontinue efforts on Overkill's The Walking Dead. We did our best to work with Starbreeze and resolve many issues that we saw with the game, but ultimately Overkill's Walking Dead did not meet our standards, nor is it the quality that we promised. The statement reads in part. So yeah, the console versions of the game are pretty much canceled, and they're not going to be supporting the game anymore, I guess. I mean, it's out, and I think you can still play it if you have it on Steam.
Yeah,
PC.
on PC you can still play it. They didn't take it away or anything, but support for it has been discontinued. There's nothing more coming out for it.
Yeah, which is kind of disappointing because it did look interesting, to say the least. Like, I don't think I would have bought it.
Pretty largely, it had gotten pretty bad reviews.
Okay. I mean, it looked interesting. I briefly watched, there was some live stream on Twitch that they did with Greg Miller as the host. I briefly watched it, and I thought it looked like an interesting game, and it was an interesting idea, but I don't know. I didn't really get too much into it to see what it was exactly.
Yeah.
But the screenshots and everything look cool.
This is just another set of bad news for Starbreeze in general. They got raided not too long ago. Bad reviews from this game. Now Skybound completely pulling out and the console versions being completely canceled. I would definitely not be surprised if within the coming months we see them close down and potentially Overkill as well, because there's no way that that this isn't hurting them right now.
Yeah, they just spent a bunch of money producing a game, like projecting, sales for multiple consoles, and now it's only on one, and nobody's gonna buy it now that they know that it's dead, essentially.
Yeah, and it already didn't sell well on that one platform.
Yeah, very, very true. All right, what's next, John?
All right, so next one is anti-vaxxers will strengthen your pathogen in Plague Inc. Have you ever played Plague Inc. before?
I've never played it, but I've either watched a stream or I watched a friend play it on the phone or something. It's a phone game as well, right?
Yeah, it originally was a phone game. Since then, it has come to Xbox One and PS4, Steam as well. So I've played it on my phone and my Xbox One, and it's a very addicting game. Very fun. I enjoy it. The whole purpose of it is to make a sickness that will take over the world and kill everyone. You are trying to wipe out humankind before the humans can create a cure and put a stop to your sickness. So, as everyone knows, there's a lot of anti-vaxxer talk going on right now, but this is from Nathan Anstat from Game Informer. If there's one thing fans like to do besides yelling on Twitter, it's creating petitions. Petitions can be a good way to know what people are dissatisfied with, but nothing tends to come of them. After a recent online petition for the 2012 strategy game Plague Inc., though, things turned out differently. After publicly endorsing the petition on their Twitter page, the developers had to put their money where their mouth is. The petition reached the required 10,000 signatures, and as promised, anti-vaxxers will be implemented in a future update to the game as a buff to your disease. So, yeah, as you play the game, you get skill points and everything, and you can upgrade your disease. You can be like, people in this area aren't that good at washing their hands. My disease is now immune to this kind of treatment. It's airborne. Birds can carry it. Just all this. It's got a lot of stuff to it. So now, anti-vaxxers are a buff. They help contribute to your disease killing the world.
Very interesting stuff. I don't understand the game. I know the idea is to, destroy the world, essentially, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is all over my head, I think. I think this is something you have to play the game to fully understand. But I know it's a very popular game.
Yep, it's all you ever see on the screen is just an overall map of the world. You see all the countries and everything, and there will be lines connecting every country, and that's how people travel between them. You got your airplanes and your boats and everything, and you can also upgrade your disease to be carried on those as well. So it's a very deep game for what it sounds like. I believe it's free on phone still, so I definitely recommend giving it a try because it is a very addictive game.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that when I inevitably get bored at work in the near future.
There you go.
There you go. All right, and our final story of the day, which will lead into the topic of the show, comes to us from, if it'll load, Game Informer. Imran Khan writes, Respawn's Star Wars game will be revealed April 13th. When Jedi Fallen Order, the Star Wars game from the creators of the Titanfall series, was first announced at E3, there weren't a lot of details. Respawn founder Vince Zampella sat in the crowd at the EA press conference very awkwardly, I'm adding the awkward part, and announced the title, referenced the Star Wars prequel, he referenced the Star Wars prequels, confirmed a 2019 release, and basically left it at that. Now it appears we'll be seeing our first real look at it in mid-April as part of Lucasfilm's annual Star Wars celebration. The news comes to us surprisingly often used EA Star Wars account, which announced that April 13th will be the reveal date for the anticipated title. The tweet just says, "Did you hear? Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order will be at Star Wars Celebration Chicago. See the game for the first time on April 13th. I completely forgot that's in Chicago. Maybe I'll try and get a press pass because that would be awesome."
Definitely. Yeah, that's cool. We'll get into our topic of the show soon, but this is pretty cool. Like you said, when it was quote unquote announced, it was a very awkward situation last E3 where he's just like, hey, yeah, we're working on a thing that you already know we're working on.
And there was just like awkward silence. And then
That's it.
And then Andrea Renee's like, okay.
All right. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm
cool.
very excited to see what comes April 13th. Now I gotta like take a note or something to try and get a press pass for that. Since it's right here where I live. Yeah, very excited to see what comes from that April 13th. So let's just briefly talk for a bit because we're getting close to the hour. Topic of the show: what are your early predictions for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order? Release date, gameplay, scores. What do you think, John?
All right, so I think there's not going to be any Battlefront this year. EA's kind of been doing like a 1 year Battlefront, next year Battlefield, and since we got Battlefield last year, Battlefront 3 would be in line to come this year. I think Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is going to take that slot, and I think it's coming out in middle November, probably second week or so. I think that's a pretty safe bet for it. Gameplay wise, I think a lot of people are expecting this to be kind of like a Titanfall kind of game. I actually don't. I think it's going to be in a very different style. I think it will be a third-person adventure game. I think it might even potentially be single-player only, but I could see them going back on that since EA is so against single-player games. But I think the emphasis will be playing it alone. Maybe there will be a co-op mode to it. Scores-wise, I mean, we can't really tell without seeing anything yet, but my early prediction is it's going to get about a 7.5 to an 8.
Yeah.
I think it will be really hyped up, but when it comes out, it might be a little disappointing to people.
Yeah, in terms of release date, I was also thinking the same thing, like mid to late November. I think just because they just announced it last E3, and you think if they had anything worth showing, they would have showed it then. I mean, because that seemed completely unplanned, especially because of how awkward it was. Like, it kind of seemed like a last-minute thing, like, hey, Vince, can you acknowledge that this game exists? He's like, yeah, sure, I can do that. But
it exists.
Yeah. There you go. So, yeah, I think that a November release date's pretty accurate because did this tweet say that it's didn't say anything about it coming out in 2019. So it's possible that it could get delayed as well. We don't know.
Yeah. All we know is that there was an earnings call a while ago where the EA boss was saying that Respawn will have multiple games out this year. So we already got Apex,
but Respawn also said that there will be more Titanfall stuff coming this year.
But it's not Titanfall 3.
But it's not Titanfall 3, so we don't know what that could be.
That very well could just be an add-on to Titanfall 2 or something.
Yeah, exactly. So that could be part of the game that they're releasing.
Yeah, but I think, like I said, after the backlash that Battlefront 2 got when that released, I would be very surprised to see Battlefront 3 this year.
Yeah, I completely agree. There's no chance we get a Battlefront 3 because of, like, everybody's still sour on the last iteration of the game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, gameplay, I think it's going to be very third person, in my opinion. I don't think it'll be a first person game. And then scores, I was going to guess like a 7. Like between 7 and 8 is safe. Just because, we haven't seen anything yet, so it's really hard to give it anything. But the Star Wars name, I think, is going to give it a few points itself.
Yeah, but I think that could also work against it. That will overhype it.
Yeah, because if it looks great and then it comes out and it's shit, people are going to riot. Literally riot.
The good thing going for it is that Respawn, it's so weird to me because they used to make Call of Duty games, or they used to work with Infinity Ward, and they were Infinity Ward, and like they made the Modern Warfare games that everyone loved. But now you see Call of Duty get bashed on a lot because it's the popular game. I find it so funny that Respawn is so loved by everyone, even though it's those people. So, I don't know.
Yeah. But I mean, Respawn, they're killing it right now with Apex. Pretty much taking over for the time being, at least. We'll see how it plays out in a few months, and they got a Star Wars game coming out, and Titanfall 2 is killing it currently, apparently.
Yeah, it's kind of gotten a resurgence.
Yeah, which might be worth checking out. But that ends episode 52 of the Pixel Street Podcast. As always, you can get our podcast on our YouTube channel by searching Almost Random. You can find it there. Our Facebook group, Pixel Street Podcast. And iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, pretty much anywhere you can find a podcast except for Spotify because they hate us. My name is Joel Campos. You can find me on Twitter at Campos63. Check out the Almost Random YouTube channel and the Facebook group, Pixel Street Podcast. You can find my writing on that video game blog. I'm trying to be more active over there, especially if I can get a press pass to this Star Wars event. That would be awesome. Maybe I can talk to some devs or something. We'll see. John, where can we find you?
On Twitter, I am at Rivik Shadows. On YouTube, you can find me by just searching for Rivik Shadows, or it's youtube.com/JohnJW92. Currently, I am writing for cultureofgaming.com, and since I'm kind of close to Chicago, maybe I'll see if I can get a press pass to that Star Wars thing as well.
Dude, you have somewhere to stay. I got a very comfortable couch and a very comfortable queen-size Serta air mattress.
All right. Maybe we can do an in-house Pixel Street podcast.
Oh, boy. I got mics for days.
All right. We'll see what comes of that. But, yeah, you can check me out there. I'm also doing more freelance work. I'm getting more contracts and writing in various places. So maybe in the future I'll start talking about that more.
Sounds good. That ends this week. Go follow me on Mixer. Mixer.com/Campo63. See you next week.